Hello everyone and welcome to Chess 5, and today I'm going to show you a pretty interesting game. And not only the game, but today's game is very special because today I'm going to show you one of the best of my games, and I think this is the best game I ever played. Yeah. And this game is also you're going to, after watching the game, you're going to learn a very nice technique to beat the King's Indian defense with the white pieces. So yeah, so the game is going to be very interesting, and perhaps the technique you are going to see after watching the game, you can apply to your game, and you can become a much stronger player, because King's Indian defense is a very aggressive opening, and usually black players play it because it's obviously a very aggressive opening. But with the white pieces, by using the technique, you can do counter attack and win the game, and the game is going to be very interesting. Currently, the game was played 2 years ago, before the COVID-19, and currently my rating is 1442, but okay, it's the faded rating of mine, not quite much, but okay. And my opponent is having the rating of 1800, so obviously 400, approx 400 rating points above me. So obviously the game is going to be very interesting. Yeah, so till then, stay tuned and keep watching Chess Fights. So I am with the white pieces and my opponent is with the black pieces. So let's check it out what happened in the game. So I with the white pieces started with 1d4, because we are going to already see the King's Indian defense. So let's take you to the position. So this is the standard King's Indian defense system structure. Yep. The last move played by black is d6. After d6, I played knight to f3, the standard King's Indian defense variation. Here black played knight to d7. The idea is to definitely play e5. I played bishop to e2. I'm just getting ready for castle. So after playing bishop to e2, my opponent replied with e5. And after e5, the white is having options. He can either capture the pawn, he can push the pawn, or he can play something else like bishop e3, or he can even castle. But I've decided to play d5. Okay, I decided to block the position. And okay, this is the most obvious move, and to use my technique, you have to push the pawn to d5. And after playing d5, black castle, which is the most obvious move in this position. Black wants to play knight h5 followed by f5 and try to attack. So this is the standard position. And so after castle, I played h3. So this is the main point. This is the main point of the opening. This is the main move that I'm recommending to everyone. The idea of playing h3 in this position after black castles immediately, because the after castles, black idea is to play knight h5 followed by f5. So to stop this idea of f5, because f5 is the most natural plan in the opening for black, that is why they play the King's Indian defense. So let's stop the idea of f5 and just do a counter attack. That's why I always promote h3 in this variation. After playing h3, white is planning to play g4 on the next move. And after playing g4, once white played g4, black cannot move the knight, and once black tries to play knight e8, he cannot play f5, because after f5 I can capture the f pawn with the g pawn, and after capture my g file would be just open, and white is already better. So after h3, my opponent played knight to h5. His idea is to play f5, or even he can play knight f4 at some point. I played g4, attacking the knight. He played knight to f4, and perhaps he can capture the bishop, or he can play knight to g to check and give me a threat. After playing knight f4, I want all of you, or every one of you, to stop the video and tell me what should white play in this position. You are in my shoes, so what should I play in this position? I'll give you a couple of seconds. Take your own time and try to find the move that I played in the game. I'll give you a couple of seconds. So okay, So I hope you all found it. The idea is pretty natural, or should I say weird. Um, um, Capturing in this position, all those who have said why not to capture the knight. If you try to capture after e takes, black bishop is just super powerful, and I think this is not a nice idea for white. At the place of capturing the knight, I played a move like bishop to e3, and I personally feel this is a very nice move. The reason after bishop e3 the knight move, I'm allowing black to play knight to g2 and give me a check. So my opponent did it. My opponent played knight to g2 and give me a check. And after playing knight to g2 check, I'm having up two options. I can play king f1, or either I can play king to d2. I play king to d2 in this position, because if you see deeply, you will notice that the center is closed. So it's better for my king to put the king in the center and start to attack on the queen side, king side, by playing h4 h5. So I played king to d2, and he captured the bishop because the knight on g2 was not having any much squares left, so he have to capture the bishop. I captured the knight with the pawn, and now the center is all closed. So after f into e3, my opponent played knight to f6. Okay. Because already I have told you that at the place of knight f6, if he tries to play f5, I can capture the f pawn, and I'm having the g file, which is going to be a big trouble for him. That's why he played knight f6, putting some pressure on the pawn on e4. And after playing knight f6, I played queen g1, simply putting the queen on this g pawn. So after, I'm already getting ready for an attack, a serious attack, by playing h4 h5. So let's see how did he stop it. He played a6. The idea of playing a6 in this position here is he wants to play perhaps b5, try to just sacrifice a pawn, try to open up the queen side. Perhaps the threat is this. At the place of a6, he should have gone c6, try to break on the center, but he played a6, and I played g5. And okay, obviously I cannot play h4 in this position because my g4 pawn is hanging. That's why I played g5, and I'm asking black what he wants to do with the knight on f6. Whether he wants to does he wants to put the knight on h5, or does he wants to take the knight back to e8. In the game he played knight to e8, which I personally feel was a very bad move. I think the what I was calculating was after g5 he will definitely play knight h5, which looks the most natural move. The reason black should play knight h5 in this position here is, once he plays knight e8, my plan is very clear. I want to play h4 h5. If he would have went knight h5, he can at least stop my h5 because his knight is now on h5. But still I can do an attack by playing knight h4 with the bishop. So the best reply for black is to play f6, try to open up the position. I can capture the knight, captures, and I can push the pawn. And after pushing the pawn, white is already better. If you try to push the pawn to h6, I'm going to play knight f5, and white is already better in this position. But okay, after he didn't play knight h5, he played knight to e8, and after knight e8, I played h4. I'm already getting ready for this h5 variation. He played queen e7, and I personally feel this was also a bad move. At the place of playing queen e7, black should have played h5, try to block this variation, block this whole structure. Although I can end pass in, and after captures, I can play h5, but black can play g5, and perhaps black is slipping. But still, according to engine, it's a comfortable position for white. But if I talk about practically, the pawn is protected by the queen having the bishop. The idea of black is to play king h8 followed by rook g8, protecting the pawn on g5, and perhaps black is holding. But if you want to see the complete line, you can put this position on the chessboard or on the engine, and you can find a very nice concrete way to attack from the white side. But he didn't play h5. He played queen e7, and the idea of playing queen e7 I'm going to show you. I didn't saw the idea come. After playing queen e7, I played h5, just continued with my attack. And now he played a move that I haven't predicted yet. After h5, he played bishop to h8. I didn't calculate bishop h8. The idea is very nice from black side, very nice, very deep. But luckily I was having something. Although I didn't calculate this queen e7 bishop h8 crazy idea. First of all of you were thinking that what is the idea of that? The idea of playing bishop h8. I played queen h2 after bishop h8, and if I try to capture the pawn on g6 now, he's going to capture with the f pawn, and now the h7 pawn is protected by the queen, and now his f file is open, which is, I think, black is starting to do some counter attack, and the things are not going well for me. That's why I haven't decided to capture the pawn, and if I try to push the pawn, I think black is no need to worry. He can still he can just go for an attack by playing c6, try to break the center, because I can no longer attack on the king side because I already fixed the pawn chain. So pushing the pawn is definitely a very bad idea. So I played queen h2, and the idea of playing queen h2 was very deep. The idea of playing queen h2 was I wanted to capture on g6, not directly. First I want to play knight h4. Then I want to capture the pawn on g6. If he tries to capture the pawn back with the f pawn, I'm going to sacrifice my knight by capturing the pawn on g6. He can't capture because his bishop is dead on h8, and this was my idea. So after queen h2, he played bishop to g4, hitting the knight. He wants to capture my knight on f3 definitely. I played knight h4, just moving with my plan, and he captured the bishop. If you try to capture my pawn with the bishop, I can capture the bishop. After gh5, I can play knight f5, hitting the queen, hitting the pawn. You cannot capture the pawn because the rook is just coming to g1 and the queen is lost. So that is the idea. You cannot capture the pawn, so he captured the bishop. I captured the bishop back with the knight, and he now captured the pawn on g4. I don't know why. Perhaps at the place of capturing, actually there is no way of, there is no better way for black to continue the position. Black is already finished in this position. The engine says the best move for black is to play knight f6, just sacrificing this knight and continue the position. He played queen g5. I played rook to g1, hitting the queen. He played queen h6 because after playing rook g1, my rook is attacking the queen on g5, and if so where should the queen go? The queen can go to f6, e7, d8, or perhaps on h6, which he played. If you try to play queen f6, I'm going to play fg6. If you try to play fg6, I'm going to play knight g6. You can't capture queen h7 in the checkmate, and if you will not capture, there's no way for black to continue the position. It's completely lost. So he tried to play queen h6, but after queen h6, it's there is no way to pause the video. But if you want, you can try to find the best move. I think you already found it, which is knight to f5. And please tell where the queen will go from the h6 square. The knight is attacking the queen. You cannot capture the knight because the king is pinned. You cannot capture it because the king is pinned. The rook is attacking the king. So after knight f5, the queen is having no square to go. He resigned. His queen is trapped. He can't capture my knight. I'm going to capture the queen. It's completely lost. And even this highly attack is coming, he cannot stop this attack. Not at all. He resigned. This was the idea. So the main idea to counter attack the king's Indian defense is to play h3 on the move number 8. When black will try to castle, you play h3, and always whenever black will try to play e5, try to open up the position, block the position by playing d5 and have this block position, and put the king in the center because the king is pretty safe on the center. There is no need to worry. a bit because the center is slow. Just do a powerful attack and make your opponent make blunders and just take the game off from the board. This is the fantastic game I played. I think this is the best game of my life I have ever played. This was the amazing game. I hope you loved the game and perhaps you learned something from it. This H3 idea of attacking with G4, stuff like that. So if you like the game and the video, then please like to the video, and if you're new to my channel, then please subscribe to my channel because it motivates me to upload more new videos, and I'm going to keep uploading the videos because I love chess. So till then, stay tuned and keep watching Chess Fight.